Hey everyone, I'm Dean and welcome to another video. What if I told you the best way to relive your childhood wasn't through therapy, but through a vertical retro handheld that fits right in your pocket? From DMG-styled beasts to pixel-perfect pocket pals, we've lined up the top 5 best vertical retro handhelds that'll teleport you straight back to the 90s. No flux capacitor required. Get ready for some glorious vertical gaming nostalgia. And hey, if you love retro vibes, smash that like button, subscribe, and tell us your favorite handheld in the comments below. Anbernic RG406V. The Anbernic RG406V might not have arrived wearing wood grain pajamas like the RG351V once did. R.I.P. goofy glamour, but this chunky vertical wonder still struts in with serious power and surprising grace. Dropping in early 2024 like a late-night snack craving, the RG406V is powered by a Unisoc T820 processor and an 8GB RAM combo that confidently says, yeah, I can run PS2 and GameCube, what of it? With Android 13 on board and that beefy 5500 mAh battery, you're looking at 8 to 12 hours of uninterrupted pixel joy, unless you get distracted by the RGB lighting show pulsing like a club on cheat code night. But it's the 4-inch 960 by 720 IPS display that steals the spotlight. 4:3 aspect ratio, vibrant color pop, and crisp resolution tailor-made for retro platforms. Game Boy Advance, SNES, and even GameCube titles look extra juicy. The improved Hall effect joysticks? Finally, no more accidental Mario U-turns mid-platform. And the D-pad? It's straight up delicious, a crispy throwback to the golden handheld era. While its design is bulkier than a lunchbox stuffed with PS2 discs, it actually fits great in bigger hands, with those back grips giving it bonus comfort points. Streaming? Yes. Emulation? Smooth. Shoulder button feel? A little sus. But hey, nobody's perfect. With prices floating around $155 to $183, it's not exactly budget, but if you're a vertical handheld enthusiast who wants performance and a screen that slaps, this one might just steal your heart and your shelf space. Miyoo Mini Plus. If the original Miyoo Mini was the adorable kitten of retro handhelds, the Miyoo Mini Plus is its slightly chunkier, just as cuddly sibling that finally hit a growth spurt. Released in March 2023, this vertical nostalgia nugget costs around $69, or even cheaper if you don't mind slow boat shipping from AliExpress, and brings bigger screen vibes to your pocket without going full Steam Deck bulge. We're talking a 3.5-inch 640 by 480 IPS screen in that classic 4:3 ratio, just the right size to make SNES sprites sing without cramping your thumbs into submission. Under the hood, it rocks a modest ARM Cortex-A7 dual-core at 1.2 GHz, 2 GB RAM, and 32 GB eMMC storage plus SD card slot, running a no-frills Linux OS that boots faster than your breakfast toast. Emulation-wise, it taps out at the PlayStation 1 era. No PS2 magic here, but everything up to that plays smoother than your uncle's vinyl collection. Game Boy Advance, SNES, Mega Drive, Neo Geo. If it lived on a cartridge, chances are it feels right at home here. It's not perfect. The lack of analog sticks means forget playing Ape Escape, and the shoulder button layout makes you question your hand anatomy during long sessions. Still, the buttons feel delightfully retro-springy, the speaker is decent till it gets loud, and the form factor makes it ideal for quick hits of nostalgia anywhere. AYANEO Pocket DMG. Released in early 2024 via Indiegogo, this vertical beast starts at a wallet-scaring $342 and tops out at a, whoa bro, $675 if you fancy the DMG colorway with 1 TB of storage. But this isn't your average retro pixel toy. This is a full-blown Android 13 super soldier equipped with Qualcomm's Snapdragon G3X Gen 2, up to 16 GB RAM, and an OLED screen that packs more pixels than your old CRT could ever dream of, 1240 by 1080 to be exact, at a deliciously weird 8:7 aspect ratio. That screen makes GBA, SNES, and anything vaguely Game Boy shaped look like retro royalty, though it awkwardly cramps anything 16:9. PSP and Switch games? You'll want to swipe left. The 6000 mAh battery delivers marathon sessions, and there's microSD, USB-C 3.2 Gen 2, and wireless everything, Wi-Fi, BT 5.3 for your modern needs. It's even got a trackpad if you're feeling spicy. Controls are mostly solid. The D-pad and face buttons are tight, but the digital triggers feel like a letdown at this price point. And if you sneeze near the power button, it might shut off. So keep your allergies in check. Still, for vertical Android gaming, there's literally nothing else like it. If your heart beats for Game Boy aesthetics but your brain demands flagship power, the Pocket DMG might just be your soul device. Just maybe don't start with the $675 edition unless your wallet says YOLO. TRIMUI Brick. If the Miyoo Mini is your slick little pixel ninja, then the TRIMUI Brick is its red armored cousin with a toolbox in one hand and a Game Boy Color in the other. Released in late 2023, the TRIMUI Brick might look like another Miyoo vertical emulator, but this chunky charmer brings a surprising amount of polish to the party. For $119.99 with 256 GB storage, you're getting a pocketable powerhouse. With a 3.2-inch 1024 by 768 IPS display that practically screams, "Look at my pixels!" That's 405 PPI of crispy retro goodness, perfect for GBA, SNES, and PS1. Under the hood, it's rocking an all-winner A133P CPU with a PowerVR GE8300 backed by 1 GB of RAM and 8 GB internal storage, expandable up to 1 TB with a micro SD. It runs a Linux-based OS, but for the tinkerers out there, MinUI and other custom firmware will have you tweaking it like a retro Raspberry Pi. Battery life hits 5 to 6 hours thanks to its 3000 mAh juice pack, which is honestly perfect for a Saturday night SNES nostalgia binge. Controls, no analogs here, but the D-pad is sharp and clicky, and those swappable micro-switch shoulder buttons, stacked round or flat, are an unexpected delight. Oh, and RGB lights and LED buttons, yeah, it glows like your 2000s gaming mouse. It's not flawless, Doom 3 players beware of eternal boot loops, but with solid build quality, a slick screen, and wild customization options, the TRIMUI Brick punches above its retro weight class. This is TRIMUI finally stepping into the big leagues, one LED lit step at a time. R36S. If you're into retro handhelds but want something that feels more console with a passport than tiny toy from a cereal box, the R36S might just be your pixel-perfect partner. Released in mid-2023, this vertical handheld builds on its predecessor, the R35S, by tightening up design, controls, and performance in just the right ways. For around $60 to $70, depending on storage and where you click, you're getting a solid chunk of retro gaming with a surprisingly great 3.5-inch 640 by 480 IPS display that's sharp, colorful, and made to make GBA and PS1 games sing. Under the shell, it's packing an RK3326 processor, Mali G31 GPU, and 1 GB of DDR3L RAM. Not earth-shattering specs, but more than enough to effortlessly handle everything up to PlayStation 1. It even dips its toes into PSP and Dreamcast territory, with a few hiccups, while also letting you jump into classic SNES, Genesis, Neo Geo, and even MAME arcade bliss. It runs ArcOS, a Linux-based OS that's stable, customizable, and frequently updated by a dedicated community. But what really sells this thing is the hand feel. With inset dual analog sticks, clicky triggers, and a responsive D-pad, the controls are a huge leap up from other budget devices. Plus, the swappable SD cards for ROMs and OS make management a breeze. The 3200 mAh battery keeps the party going for around 5 hours, and yes, there's a headphone jack and a mono speaker right where it should be, front and center. And there you have it, 5 glorious vertically inclined pixel machines ready to scratch your retro gaming itch. Even if you're chasing high scores on a tiny train ride or deep diving into RPGs in bed, these handhelds are here to power your portable nostalgia trips. Got a favorite from the list or one we criminally forgot? Drop it in the comments and let's argue like it's 1998. Hit that like button if your thumb still works, subscribe for more retro awesomeness, and we'll catch you in the next one. Keep it pixel perfect, folks.